Welcome back to Splendid Tales, where truth meets fire and justice walks in with a grin. Today's story will burn through your screen, so if you're new here, hit that like button, subscribe, and hold on tight because this one's nuclear. The courtroom smelled of arrogance and old coffee. 19-year-old Ray Johnson stood there in an oversized orange jumpsuit, wrists chained, eyes steady. Across from him sat Judge Margaret Cole, a woman known for her cold disdain, especially toward anyone who didn't fit her picture of respectable. She looked down at Ray like she was staring at gum stuck to her heel. "So," she said, voice drenched in sarcasm, "you think you're smart enough to represent yourself, Mr. Johnson? This isn't some street corner debate. This is court." The laughter from the audience sliced through Ray's pride. Even the bailiff smirked, whispering, "Another wannabe lawyer." But Ray didn't flinch. He adjusted his posture, eyes gleaming with quiet fire. "Ma'am," he said evenly, "if believing in my innocence is arrogance, then I'll wear it proudly." Gasps rippled. The judge leaned forward, tapping her gavel with mock patience. "Then go ahead, Mr. Genius. Defend yourself. Let's see how long that confidence lasts." The prosecutor, a red-faced man with slick hair, grinned wickedly, already picturing the boy's downfall. Cameras clicked. Reporters scribbled. Everyone was ready to watch a young black man be humiliated on live TV. But what they didn't know, this courtroom was about to witness history. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Splendid Tales is just getting started. The courtroom settled into a smug silence as Ray Johnson stepped forward, chains clinking with every move. The prosecutor, Mr. Dalton, smirked so wide it looked like his jaw might snap. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, "you're about to see why law school isn't for everyone." Laughter echoed, loud and cruel. Even the judge joined in with a snide chuckle, sipping her coffee like she was watching a comedy show. Ray didn't laugh. He waited until the noise died down, then calmly picked up a stack of papers from the defense table. "Your Honor," he said, voice smooth as steel, "before we start the circus, can we confirm if the arresting officer who claimed to chase me on foot can actually run?" The courtroom froze. The officer, a heavy-set man, shifted uncomfortably. Ray tilted his head. "Because according to this medical report, he's been on light duty for a knee injury since last year, meaning he couldn't have chased anyone, not even a donut." The crowd burst into shocked laughter. The judge's smile vanished. The prosecutor's face turned crimson. "Objection!" he barked. "Irrelevant. Overruled," the judge muttered reluctantly. Ray pressed on. "Also, the car I supposedly stole? The owner said it was taken at 8:30 p.m. The arrest happened at 7:50, so either I stole it before it existed, or you've got the wrong man." Now the silence was real. Cold, heavy, humbling. If you're enjoying this takedown, smash that like button and subscribe. Splendid Tales isn't done yet. By now, the courtroom that once mocked Ray Johnson had fallen into an uneasy silence. The prosecutor's smug grin was gone, replaced by sweat beads glistening on his forehead. Judge Cole fidgeted, her confidence cracking. Ray adjusted his papers again, calm, deliberate, dangerous. "Now," he said, "let's talk about this so-called fingerprint evidence." The audience leaned forward. The prosecutor tried to interrupt, but Ray didn't even look his way. "The lab report you submitted," he continued, "shows a partial print, not a match. Yet somehow it became proof against me. Care to explain that math, Mr. Dalton?" The prosecutor stammered. "It was a procedural inference." "Oh, so now we're solving crimes with imagination?" Ray cut in, smirking. "That's cute. Maybe next time, draw the evidence with crayons." The room erupted with gasps and muffled laughs. Even one of the jurors snorted before quickly covering her mouth. Judge Cole slammed her gavel. "Order," she barked, but her voice trembled. Ray turned toward her, his tone respectful but piercing. "Your Honor, it gets worse. The car owner, Mr. Bradley, submitted a sworn statement this morning that he knows who took his vehicle, and guess what? It wasn't me. It was his nephew, the same nephew who happens to be the son of the arresting officer." A thunderous silence filled the courtroom. The prosecutor's jaw dropped. Cameras clicked furiously. Ray's lips curved into a quiet smile. "Justice," he whispered, "has a funny way of finding the truth. If you're feeling this heat, like, comment and subscribe. Splendid Tales is only getting spicier." The air in the courtroom was electric, thick with disbelief and shame. Judge Cole's gavel trembled in her hand as she tried to regain control, but the truth had already exploded like a grenade. The once confident prosecutor now looked like a ghost, his face drained of all color. The audience whispered furiously, phones out, streaming the downfall of what was supposed to be a simple case. Ray Johnson stood tall, yet still in his orange jumpsuit, but now he looked nothing like a criminal. He looked like the storm that finally broke through centuries of arrogance. Your Honor, he said softly, I didn't come here for pity. I came for truth. And it seems truth has bad timing. It always shows up late, but it never misses. The gallery erupted into applause. Even the bailiff, who had mocked him earlier, looked down, ashamed. Judge Cole's voice cracked as she spoke. Mr. Johnson, I owe you an apology. This case, this entire process, was a disgrace. Ray nodded slowly. Then let's make sure it doesn't happen again. The crowd stood. Reporters swarmed. Cameras flashed. The story of the boy who schooled the system went viral within hours, shaking the nation awake. Outside the courthouse, Ray walked free, sunlight bouncing off his wrists where the cuffs once were. The same people who had laughed now chanted his name. He smiled, whispering to himself, They mocked me for believing. Now they'll remember me for winning. This has been Splendid Tales, where truth always hits back. If you felt that fire, like, comment, and subscribe for more stories that speak louder than words.